Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the sight of God and these witnesses to join together this man and this woman in holy matrimony. Marriage is an honorable estate instituted by God in the beginning, commended by our Lord Jesus Christ, and to be held in honor among all people. It is a deeply sacred covenant, a commitment not to be entered into lightly or unadvisedly, but reverently, deliberately, and in the fear of God. Today we celebrate the Sabbath year. The love that has brought this wonderful young man, Sebastian, and this wonderful young lady, Catherine, together. We pray for God's richest, abundant blessings as they begin their journey as one. So a quick word of prayer, and then I'll let you all sit down. Heavenly Father, you are the author of love.
It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil. It rejoices with the truth. They always protect, always trust, always hope, and always persevere. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled, and where there is knowledge, it will be stilled.
The author of Macbeth. Who is the author of the great Tolkien book, Rory? Slightly harder. Who's the author of the musical Hamilton? Wow. You're supposed to get help.
It's Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Sebastian, who is the author of the beautiful song 25th by Demi? Well done. Did you guys hear that? The song that you listened to at the start was a song written by Catherine on the 25th of January. Sebastian, imagine if you just came across that song, read the lyrics, and you were told that song was for you, but you never met Catherine. I mean, it's a beautiful song, right? But there'd be something missing if you never actually quite got to meet the author. And something missing in your life, you wouldn't be fully together. When we look at the scripture we just read, here's the deal. God is the author of love. When we say love is patient, love is kind, we're actually saying God is patient. He's kind.
I have heard that many of you here have been looking forward to meeting me. And now, here I stand before you. Now, if there is anything that you find amusing in the speech that I'm about to deliver, you may laugh. Catherine Ellen O'Sullivan is a dear sibling. I have known her all her life, which has, up to now, lasted 31 years. During which time she has intended to marry someone and has finally found the worthy spouse. The man who is about to become her spouse the young man by the name of Sebastian Yappena, and I hereby welcome him to the family. Catherine is the fourth in my bloodline, and is, and always has been, the most ardent and enthusiastic of all my siblings. As a child, she was lax, naive, bungling, and fruitless, which I found to be very irksome. And she has vexed me many times. However, as a grown woman, she is fair, flexible, easygoing, and above all, thoughtful. For she cares as much for her friends as she does for her family, which is a very noble trait, worthy of recognition in the history of the family. And this must be practiced. For as long as I have known her, Catherine has a heart of gold and a fair degree of determination about herself. I have found her to be one of the most sociable people I know. Her bond with her friends and her family is as strong now as it is with her groom. Now marrying my sister Catherine, and now a member of the family, Sebastian has proven to be a respectable young man. He's strong, active, resilient, and benevolent, and has been both kind and considerate towards my sister. His unconditional love and his unwavering loyalty to her is inspiring and transcendent. It is therefore most fitting that he stands before us today in his wedding suit and takes Catherine's hand in marriage. Sebastian, you have made the right choice. Taking Catherine as your wife, for she has been loyal and considerate to you up to this point. If and when you try to contact her, she will answer your call. Should you feel sad, she will listen to your grievances. In the event of being in dire need, she will help you in whatever way, and in return, you will follow her to whatever end. Catherine, I say that you have chosen a good husband. You deserve a man who loves you, who cares for you, who will help you in times of need, and who will strive to take care of you and look after you when you are suffering woe, sorrow, sickness, or injury. And I believe you have found such a man. Furthermore, although I dislike weddings, I stand here today attending this one by choice. And I am proud of my sister for coming so far in her life and for finding herself a worthy spouse. This is a special moment for the bride and the groom. Catherine and Sebastian, I say unto both of you, that this nuptial union that you are about to create is yours, and deservedly so. Now come the days of your marriage.
Do I speak now? No. Okay, like take touch him by the hand.
Do you have any hands free?
Oh.
So, Kate, being as creative and thoughtful as ever, you wrote and composed a song for me that was played as we walked down the aisle just now, called the 24th of January. Given how special that is, I only felt it was fair that I at least tried to give you something creative back. I can feel the tension in the room, but I'm not about to but please bear with me for a poem that's really tested out my English GCSE from over 14 years ago. Ciao, Miss Stephen. From the holidays you've been, to all the cocktails and cuisines, and to always want to find something new. It's the life I had dreamed, and even better than it seemed, because I get to with you. With your hand in my hand, I can confidently stand as you bring out the best side of me. You're a saint in a way, you care for me each day while still putting up with my company. We've been through it all, no challenge too tall, and they only made our bond feel stronger. However big they seemed, we worked as a team, and the reasons I loved you grew longer. A lockdown apart, right off from the start, it just made our hugs a bit closer. A blood clot scare, and by through intensive care, it showed me that you were a fighter. A flooded smelly flat, our health temp taps. But throughout it, you still kept me sane. So whatever life brings, to the thick and the thin, I'm ready to go. On that night out in Jan, you sang out our whole family with a song that you wrote for my heart. No one life is too small for the love of it all, and I know that right from the start. So have one life all we get, and we'll live with no regrets, and I'll give every second to you to make you feel as glad, best days we've had, and it's been divided.
Sorry for crying. They're all happy tears. Okay. Right. My first impression of you was on a cold Sunday night in January 2020. I had just been for an atmospheric walk around the streets of Woodgreen, talking on the phone about how I had just downloaded the app called Hinge, and I was just settling up into my room to start swiping. When I got back to the flat, I had a notification. Someone had added a question to one of my 3 prompts, where I had very alluringly said that a fun fact about me was that I had 4 kittens instead of 2. Some would say, don't put that on your dating profile. It's not very sexy. You had scrolled past post photos and gotten straight down to business. How does that work, you wrote, and can I have one? Little did I know the organ you would be taking would be my heart. She would pause for laughter there. You were quick to get a drink in the diary, and I was excited for my very first meeting. But I was also terrified. I nearly cancelled. I didn't look how I wanted to look, and I didn't know if I'd even be able to understand the Birmingham accent. Would you be wearing a flat cap? Would you have a pocket watch? And this was hard to bet. But something told me that I needed to take a chance, no matter how I was feeling about myself. So I braved my way to Highbury on the 24th of January, and we quickly bonded over the Edinburgh Fringe, a love of dogs and cocktail bars. Maybe it was the double vodka sodas, but I felt so comfortable with you so quickly. I remember feeling like I really wanted to sit near you, like you were already a safe space for me. You were funny, warm, and genuine, and when I got home tonight, you texted me to say that you loved my smile. I remember worrying that Valentine's Day was coming up so soon. It would only be our 4th date. And I remember thinking, would it be weird to get him a card when we had only just met? But on Valentine's Day, he presented me with a box of chocolates and an Italian Greyhound toy. And I thought, wow, how sweet. This is all moving so fast. So luckily, it became illegal for us to hang out for a few months. While COVID locked everyone away. And I thought maybe the pandemic would tsunami over our whole situation and would just be a great introduction back into dating. But by the end of the lockdown, we were in love. Because who needs fancy cocktail bars when you have a Nutribullet at home? Who needs tasting menus when you have HelloFresh? And who needs regular holidays when you have all the open spaces of Woodbury and Brixton? When it comes to marriage, I think it's important for the relationship to be truly tested. It's easy to be happy when everything is going right. And I feel like we've really proven to each other that we can get through the mundane times, the scary times, the sad times, showing each other just as much love, if not more, than when everything is going our way. 4 years ago, I spent a very fun week in intensive care, and there were days with no visiting hours. But you came to the hospital anyway, sat outside the closest pub and FaceTimed me, with a vodka soda laid out across from you, and you valiantly drank both. I had been feeling quite unlucky, but in that moment, you managed to make me feel like the luckiest person in the world. To have a partner as thoughtful as you. You made me feel like I can handle any bad day. Because how can I ever be that bad? Because you were so patient and so supportive. You made me laugh. You bring me the perfect mix of peace and excitement. You were so handsome. And you were so good at sports. So Seb, I promise to be the best wife I can possibly be, with hopefully fewer medical emergencies. But something I can guarantee you is that I will cherish you always. I love you so, so much, and I will make sure you always know that. And I can't wait for our lives together, no matter what the future holds.
Said, will you have this woman be your wedded wife, to live together in the holy covenant of marriage? Love her, comfort her, honor her, and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others. Be faithful to her as long as you both shall live. Catherine, will you have this man to be your wedded husband, to live together in the holy covenant of marriage?
I will.
Will you love him, comfort him, honor, and keep him in sickness and in health, forsaking all others? Be faithful to him as long as you both shall live.
I will.
We can have a round of applause there.
Now, if you can have the ring.
Thank you, sir. The wedding ring is an outward and visible sign of an inward and spiritual grace. It is an unbroken circle, symbolizing unending love, and its precious metal reminds us that love is to be treasured above all else. Repeat after me, okay? With this ring, I wed you as a token and pledge of our constant faith and abiding love. Sorry, with this ring, I wed you as a token and pledge of our constant faith and abiding love.
With this ring, I wed you as a token and pledge of our constant faith and abiding love.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Round of applause. Captain, place this ring on Sebastian's finger and repeat after me.
I need the words. Okay. What? With this ring, I wed you as a token and pledge of our constant faith and abiding love. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Round of applause, guys. Father God, I ask you to bless this incredible, beautiful couple and their dear friends. May their home be a place of peace. May it be a place of health. And may they always be there for each other. The pronouncement. For as much as Sebastian and Catherine have consented together in holy wedlock, and have witnessed the same before God and this company, and thereto have given and pledged their troth each to the other, and have declared the same by giving and receiving rings, by the authority committed unto me as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, I pronounce that they are husband and wife, whom therefore God hath joined together, let no man or woman put asunder. You may kiss your beautiful bride. In our absolute privilege to take honor and praise Catherine and Sebastian, who for the very first time as husband and wife.
Smart.
It will dry. We'll pack ourselves in. All right, we're reversing. Yes, sure.
Hello everyone. Thanks for being here. I hope you're having a great day. I'll kick off the sheet by saying the obvious. It does indicate look amazing today. Before I get into it, I just wanted to take a moment and say a huge thank you to the Prosa staff for looking after us so brilliantly today. Nesta and Roberta especially. The place looks amazing. I've loved the cocktails and I promise you the food to come is excellent later. Found the videographer and the makeup team. We really appreciate all the hard work that's done today, making it so special for us and for our institution. Most of all, thanks to all of you guys for travelling here today. It means the world you took the time to celebrate with us. You travelled from all over, with the biggest cohorts here being Brummies, Geordies. That is a mental range of accents. Good luck to the Americans and the other Europeans here today. But would you believe it, one of the people that travelled the furthest to be here today, from over 10,000 miles away, from Sydney, Australia, is actually my own sister, Isabel. Isabel, it truly is incredible how far you're willing to travel for free alcohol. I'll start my personal thank yous with my side of the room. First of all, thank you to my groomsmen, especially Paddy, David and Jake, who organised the stand doing leads. I loved it. Not only was it a fun weekend, but the effort they put in after my unfortunately crippling sort of footprints in. So piggyback me down a beer mile and even go as far as to find me a walking stick at the station so I could get home safely. We've all been friends since early school, trauma bonded by supporting West Bromwich Albion. However, I do have a bone to pick with them. For the room, if you didn't know, when I was at school, I was the shortest in the year and was by far the youngest, which opened me up to playful banter from men such as convincing bar staff I was underage and to only serve me shots of fruit shoot. Which I remember fondly to this day. Or noticing that I was wearing a kid's football shirt and 12-year-old at the age of 16. The funny thing is, I grew taller than all said friends later on, and I feel like I've never returned that revenge back. So here I stand, with a microphone, set on legends. But no, it's their love, I'm going to be the big man. And then shout out to Pete, my first uni friend, my first flatmate, and then football gaffer and captain. Then landlord, now ring bearer and groomsman. Big congratulations to yourself and Freddie for the child on the way. You two often felt like my London parents when I was a living tenant. So I actually think, in fact, myself and probably Tom, your other tenant, for teaching you guys how to live with children. I love you. Next to my family, my parents, thank you so much for the help they've given today. It's really helped to get the exact thing that we wanted. Speaking on her behalf, but Kate loves you guys. Isabel, she's still in the fence well. That was good. The holidays and weekends we spent together have been really great fun. And you've all always made Kate feel so incredibly welcome and part of the family. And I'm excited, but scared by that speech. A huge shout out as well to my nan and granddad, as well as Kate's nan, who couldn't manage to travel to be here today. We promised to catch them up as soon as we can with photos, videos, and all the leftover sweets that we have. I lastly want to shout out my dad's mum, Cynthia, who sadly passed away before getting a chance to meet Kate. She would have absolutely loved her. I love this lady being as young as she was. We would be wearing triple jewellery. But yeah, I'd like to raise the first glass to Cynthia. On to Kate's wider family. I can't tell you how much of a privilege it's been to be a big part of a family like yours. And attend Kate's nan's 90, for example. It's genuinely such a fond memory of mine to meet you all and experience the sing song firsthand, despite the preceding nightmares I had in the nights leading up to it, that I had to sing Sweet Time Live in front of you all. I can only apologise for the damage I've done to your ignorance. All of John's siblings, all the good sisters, you've been so welcoming and willing to host us at the drop of a hat without question. I think that sums up the whole family in a nutshell. So thanks so much, especially to Kate's uncle Mark for hosting a wonderful ceremony earlier. We really appreciate having you do that. Really meant a lot to K9. And advance thank you to Peter, who I actually cannot wait to have MC tomorrow. You are the greatest world's greatest entertainer in my mind. Kate's great uncle great uncle Michael was very close to our immediate family, and I sadly didn't get a chance to meet him. But as he was a fellow Brummie and a West Brom fan nonetheless, he sounds like a great guy to me. So we're also very fast. To Kate's sisters, Ash and May, thanks for organising what looked like such a memorable Henry costume for Kate's selectively finding the right partners for us to build a perfect quiz team. Your singing at the ceremony yesterday was incredible and so special, and it's very cute how all three of you look after each other. I've loved getting to know you too, Connor and Sean. Thank you so much, Sean, for the reading you did today, but also being the only person in my life to still call him by my full government name. On to Kate's parents, Viv. It's incredible how you beat the odds to be caring, down to earth, and non-delusional, all despite being an Aston Villa fan. The next line I have was, well, the West Brom fans were not booing. Not boo the bug of the bride. John and Viv, we really appreciate how much you guys have looked after us over the past few years, whether it's been stepping in with the family, the help you've given me today, carrying over a mountain of equipment, for the wedding from Newcastle, the constant medical advice you've given us to us both. I feel so comfortable with you guys as part of the family because you both especially, and of course, you raised an incredible daughter to be so caring, hardworking, intelligent and talented, of which you should be so proud of. And then last but not least, of course, the big finish, Kate. What a woman. Although it's your four kidneys on your prompts on Hinge that got my attention, you agree to each day you're far more than an emergency plan for when my kid in. I was reflecting, and I think our first day has been a great foreshadowing of our relationship. We opted for a pub crawl in Highbury in Islington. We knew we couldn't stay in a single place. We wanted to try every pub in the area, driven by mutual compulsion to explore new places. Many of our dates and trips since then have been very similar, picking a random tube stop in London or a place in the world, and tried as many bars, sites and restaurants as we could, not to mention we now own a flat just 10 minutes away from where we first met. We both arrived perfectly on time, of course. Kate came out with a beautiful beaming smile, her organised and ever-bubbly persona. We arrived at the brew house, the name of our top table. And then the yapping began. She yapped and she yapped. But I loved it. And despite it being from a point in my life where I consider myself especially awkward, the yapping went on for hours. The conversation and fun just seemed to come so naturally, and we've never run out of things to yak about to this day. We moved on to a pub called the Library, where we cozied up upstairs on the sofa. That's where Kate told me all about the show she'd written and performed in the Edinburgh Fringe, Living with a Dartboard. Not only do I remember how in awe I was at the time about this, but also how excited I was to show off to my friends who are avid Fringe goers. I knew they would love her, and of course they will do. Everyone that meets her does. It was just a prologue to watching you create all the incredible writing and music that you've done, and I remain so proud to watch you perform. Not to mention how incredibly lucky I am to walk down the aisle to you composed. I'll admit this is the biggest stretch next, as I'm not sure the restaurants we've got on to try are well represented by the late night McDonald's. Nor are the fancy bars and cocktails represented well by the cheap for £10 Wetherspoons, Long Island cocktail fishes. But we have racked up some truly incredible memories from our London weekends and holidays. Outside of the fun, you've been endlessly caring and tenacious. I truly admire and appreciate how much you're willing to drop anything, despite whatever you're going through to care for me or even your friends or family. You're the first to try and help, the first to pick up a phone call, and even when maybe you shouldn't. We seem to perfectly balance out each other's stresses, and with every challenge we always take our stride together, and you always find a way forward. You are the ultimate teammate, best things that have happened to me. Thank you very much. In return, I promise to keep exploring the world with you, to keep caring for you, to always do whatever I can each day to make the day better for you, and to never stop yapping. Everyone to finish off, I'd love if you could please raise a glass to my beautiful wife. Thank you, well done.
We are at this fantastic occasion where we have witnessed the marriage of two of the most perfectly matched people I think you could possibly imagine. I'm standing here, and Sarah sitting there as the most proud parents you can possibly imagine. It's a little unusual that the groom's father makes this speech. But I did go on the stag do with a lot of his friends. and to be fair, this was I found his friends to be intelligent and very discreet. However, if you give them a pint, they'll tell you everything. Also, many of them are West Bromwich Albion supporters who go regularly to games. And to be honest, this is a big crowd to them. That hurt me to say that. There is an old saying that you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. Well, this is one occasion you can choose your family, and I have to say, Seb has made a series of excellent life choices, both for himself and for us. I mean, this is amazing. You could the multiplication of the size of our family. It's amazing. And what we're joining here is an intellectual and artistic family. I'm not aware of any authors in our family, anyone who has an album on Spotify, any musicians, or people who had a play performed at the Edinburgh Fringe. I mean, this is not a Hen Allen thing. Although I have recently become aware that there is a poet in the family. I'm not counting the fact that I know Sarah can play London's Burning on the recorder. And I'm trying to forget the fact that all of Isabel's clarinet lessons. I'm afraid the role models in our house were not Anthony Hopkins or Meryl Streep. I'm afraid it was Johnny Bravo, the Powerpuff Girls, and my particular favourite, Carrot Chicken. And it explains a lot. I have tried to broaden their horizons. I remember many years ago taking them to the opera in Verona. It's a 1st century amphitheatre, and if you haven't been, it's quite impressive. I got them in there. I will admit we were in the cheap seats. And within about 5 minutes they were complaining about how uncomfortable the 1st century steps were. We just about managed to last one act on bribery of an ice cream. It was Aida, and to be fair, there's not many banging tracks going on in that. At work recently, my company has been taken over by a huge German multinational, which is, of course, to leave. And that was not a good takeover. With our small family here and your very large and wonderful family there, I now feel that the merger with an Irish multinational is much more successful. The German company is run by HR and legal, and the fun police are everywhere, hidden in plain sight. However, this Irish multinational appears to be run by two doctors. Their territory runs from Newcastle to London, Boston to Cork, and the fun police works in entirely the opposite direction. If you're not having fun, what's your problem? Oh, sorry. Under new FIFA regulations, mid-speech we have to have a hydration break. If I were Thomas Tuchel, I would be removing all of the heavy drinkers from my table and replacing them with some Puritans. But that's not going to happen. What I would like to say in the hydration break, as Seb has already said, there's the rather wonderful table of people who aren't with us. And he did mention my mother, there's my stepfather and my father, who are unfortunately not with us. And thanks to Seb for mentioning that. My mother would have particularly loved Kate. She would have loved this occasion. I'd also like to mention the fact that Seb's grandparents on the other side are still with us, but unfortunately through ill health, both Sarah's mother, father, and her aunt are unable to make it. They would have loved to have been here. I know that Seb and Kate will have to see Nanny shortly. The good news is they will stop. She will stop asking when the wedding is going to be. Anyway, hydration break over. I hope you're suitably sustained. Back to Seb. Seb was the first of our 2 chubby children. Sorry, Isabel. As a toddler at nursery, he was the equivalent of an Argentinian footballer. He was tripping people up, he was pushing people, he was pinching them, he was pulling their hair. After his initial growth spurt, largely in circumference and not in height, this all did slow down a little. He had many talents as a child, the biggest of which was at musical bunks. So particularly enjoyed the Child's Club, and to watch him was a joy, if you like winning. He had speed and awareness. He didn't care about his fellow competitors. He didn't care if it was a little girl who was 2 years old. He never lost sight of the DJ. He had the neck of an owl. He would go around the dance floor. His skinny frame would hit the floor at a rate of knots. I genuinely believe that compaction of the spine resulted in being 5'2" for the next 10 years. I did think that his will to win came from me, but I have subsequently seen his mother on a horse doing cross country, beating 10-year-olds because it's all round the red man's head. Anyway, we established before that Seb and Cait met on a dating app just before COVID. I would love to have known exactly what was on his dating profile, because I'm not sure some of these things would cut it. He won back-to-back National Mathematician Awards, scooping 2... Seb has had a hole-in-one in golf. What Seb likes doing is he likes shouting at random strangers playing FIFA. He likes eating ridiculously hot curries. As Seb said earlier, he is a man of love. He will give everyone a chance. He doesn't dislike anybody or anything on any basis, other than the fact he hates the villa. I did know a couple of things about his dating profile actually there, one of which, we only know 2 of them, unfortunately. One of his claims was that he was the 16th Brazilian, which I do understand to be true. Although I did hear at one minute that it might have been Argentinian, which could have explained a few things. The other fact was that he spent a night in a Burger King in Prague. I'm hoping the Burger King one was a lie, because my char-grilled whopper jokes are entirely inappropriate for this audience. Apparently he also had photos of himself on the website, very subliminal, all of them, at a wedding with friends, one with his sister on holiday, which promoted the fact that he's caring the community, and another with his dog. How could he possibly go wrong, and how could Cait resist? I did take some references from some of Seb's stag mate friends. and I got some very interesting answers. I asked them, if you were asked for a reference on Seb as suitable marriage material, what would you say? I think my favourite was, I still see him as an innocent, sweet and kind 11-year-old, only now he has a beard. He's an absolute keeper in every way, he's sweet and kind, and that should transfer to his marriage. I don't know how much time I've got left. I asked Kate if she were only to take up one reference and would follow that advice, who would it be from? And without hesitation, having heard him earlier, it's quite obvious, she chose Sean. Sean's reference was this. This man is prepossessing and athletic. If you choose this man, he will fulfill your dreams to the best of his ability. He is kind and considerate and will look after you always. Well done, Sean. That was excellent. I am basically here to toast the happy couple. What can I say about Kate? Kate is amazing. She's funny, she's intelligent, she's thoughtful. She's such a beautiful bride. Yeah. No more I can really say. What I can say about Seb is that he has followed in the family tradition of punching well above their weight. I certainly did it. As you can no doubt see, and Seb also. That said, I can throw this to the other side of the argument, and Seb is just such a wonderful, decent, fantastic human being. I could also say that this is not punching above his weight, it's just a clash of the titans, a joining of the titans. So, I now have to give 2 toasts apparently. I thought I only had to give 1, but I got a message yesterday from Irish royalty, and when I say Irish royalty, I mean Bono, and Kate would not let me ignore what Bono has to say. So I will do 1 toast, and then we'll do 1 more. So first of all, if you'd all like to be upstanding and raise a glass to the wonderful couple, perfect couple, Seb and Cait. Right, I'm glad you all remain standing, because you can join in if you know the words, because Bono spoke to me through the medium of Spotify yesterday. and he said, in the name of love, 1 more in the name of love. So, Cait and Seb.
Who don't know us by now, we're Catherine's sisters. I'm Maeve.
And I'm Aisling. We've known Catherine for maybe, 31 years now? And boy, what a ride it has been.
At first, we knew each other more through circumstance. But as time went on, a genuine connection was born. And we became, well, like family.
Some people say that sisters are the friends that you didn't want. And when you have a sister friend who has a master's in creative writing, 2 successfully performed plays, several short stories, poems, a best-selling album, and a book published in the Sacred Heart School Library, there's a lot of pressure to write a speech.
So please, just take a moment to feel bad for us. And be patient while we word up our thoughts from our minds into ways of saying things about Coit. Now, there's a clear division of labour here. Aisling is younger and I'm older. The younger sister is more present during those innocent childhood days, while the older is there when that child finally grows up. So for now, I will defer to Aisling, who actually paid attention to Coit when they were children.
As the youngest sister, my role is to annoy, take all the attention, and be overdramatic. And I am very, very good at this. But I could not have done it without Catherine. For as long as I can remember, I have idolized Catherine. And there are many qualities of hers that I hope she knows are the reasons why I and all of us love her. She's the one person who can make me laugh more than anyone in the world, even when it really isn't funny. And the only one who will always understand how precious it is to smile, copyright SNL sketch. Only Catherine will understand. When we were children, we were inseparable. So much so that our loving and not at all cheap father would try to get us into theme parks disguised as twins to save money. In Pictionary, we are a dangerous team to be up against because we will somehow always get the right answer, even with a completely wrong clue. Our most notorious example of this, strange select families, and Catherine would always be the one who would take the extra mile. Every toy had a school book with individualized writing styles. Every toy had a distinct personality, and every toy got their end-of-year test and certificate of achievement because they all had different strengths. Her writing grew, and we wrote many hit books such as The Magic Bush and School Under Siege. These runaway literary successes were clearly the inspiration for Catherine going on to study creative writing, and I had the pleasure of reading every very creepy short story that she would write and send me whilst at university. As teenagers, I will always remember Catherine as being the exceptionally cool older sister that everyone wanted to be friends with, but she never neglected me. She's always thinking of someone else before herself. She would get me presents from charity shops, like a little chest of drawers to keep my favourite lists. And for my birthday, she went the extra mile and she added me on Facebook. Catherine will always tell you the truth. Always. It is a quality in her that I depend on for steering me in the right direction. Often this means keeping her on standby when I go clothes shopping, but it's in so many aspects of my life. She was and is the one that I can always trust. Catherine brings me back to reality. She reminds me not to take myself too seriously, that it can be lonely at the top and that you can be smart and fun at the same time. I have really loved reminiscing about the fun we had as kids and remembering that I've had the pleasure of learning from Catherine my whole life. And I'm so lucky to have never had to live a day without her.
Now, while all that was happening, I was a grumpy teenager, so I kept my distance from both Coit and Ash. I could see the connection between the two of them and the fun they had, but when they're 11 and you're 15, your lives seem like miles apart. And honestly, they were a bit weird. So I left them to it. But when I finally tuned back in, I could see that Coit had grown up well. I'm sure you'll all agree that she's turned into a cracking person. And that stage of her evolution was something that I was lucky enough to have a front row seat to. Coit left home, went to university, made some incredible friends, many of whom are here today. And after a bit of time wandering the globe, she decided it was time to try London. And of course, the first thing you do when you decide whether you're going to move to a new city is to be a resident writer there. In 2018, Coit led the way in writing, as we've mentioned, Living with a Dark Lord. Which was a play about our experience as sisters growing up with Sean. Now, it's not just that Coit has such a fantastic writing talent, but she has a way of bringing people together. Being the driving force behind that project, Coit helped us reach a different level in our relationship with each other. She has a unique way of unlocking the past and being curious and brave about what that meant for our future. She encouraged us to expose our darkest thoughts and find safety in each other, knowing that we could say exactly what we felt and there'd be no judgment. Not only that, but the darker it was, perhaps the better theatre it would make. A year after that project, in 2019, Coit made the move to London. Now, London is a tough place to be. It's a lonely place. And I've been there nearly 10 years, and I promise you, Coit, it did not feel like home until you got there. Coit and I moved in together in North London, where we made the space our own, and every day we admired our work. The kitchen was a work of art. Coit could legitimately be an interior designer. Maybe I'd just be the person to remind her which way the cupboards needed to open. After many long years, for me feeling just that little bit unsettled all the time, not quite finding my place, I was finally able to relax with her there. Aside from my own husband, Coit is the best roommate. We were both able to fully be ourselves in all of the weird forms that took. I never hid anything from her. I trusted her with every part of me. We would talk late into the night, solve all our problems, wake up with new insecurities and solve those too, and then be there for each other when it all felt like it was falling apart again. In the years that we lived together, through a lockdown, through our 20s, you became absolutely one of my best friends, and I'm the luckiest person ever to be able to say that about my sisters, Ash too. Now, for a long time, we had to wonder, who will be good enough for our witty, smart, funny, creative, amazing sister? Then, Sebastian arrived.
We couldn't have been more delighted for Catherine. She deserves this.
Someone who was kind, patient, and above all, a solid winner, who could finally get us to the top 3 of the pub quiz table.
Who could finally be fun and cool. Who could treat Coit like the special person that she is. We won't ask much from you, Seb. We love getting to know you and having you as part of the family. And as sisters, we may be very close, but we promise you that we will share her.
This is truly the highest compliment that we can give you, Seb. That we trust you with our most precious sister, and we are happy to share her with you. Now, Seb, we have 2 pieces of sisterly advice to give you before we wish you the best. First, a quick lesson on how to respond in this most common scenario, which can be applied in many ways. Hi, I'm Coit. How do I look in this dress? Don't pause.
You look great.
And secondly, and finally, when you tell her you love her, and she says she loves you too, don't be offended if sometimes she means Bono. It just comes with the territory.
Well, that's it. We think you're both ready now. Of course, you have our father to take us into the final act. But from us, we say, we love you, happy wedding day,
to the happy couple.
Yeah. One of the things as Vivian and I were talking about the speech, we said one thing about Cait that people might not appreciate is that she's quite a brave person. I said, oh yeah, she's a very brave person. I said, well, could she be a good example? And she says, well, she's allowing you have the microphone. That's brave. That's the kind of positive thing you expect ourselves from your mother-in-law. Yeah. So I hope you're all enjoying Cork. Cork and its idiosyncrasies. Someone was telling me that they were driving into Cork and there was a sign, official sign, that said, Cork, the real capital of the world. As a Cork man, I can tell you, there's absolutely no justification at all. But one label that Cork does have, which is actually fairly well merited, is it's called the Rebel County. And that goes back, just very briefly, I'll tell you, it goes back to the 1400s when a rebellion in England, Perkin Warbeck was fighting against Henry VII, and that was supported by Cork. He was contacted, he welcomed to Cork, and he came to Cork. He walked the street that you might walk tomorrow, and he was greeted and he was supported to such a level that the Lord Mayor of Cork went with Perkin Warbeck back to England to fight against Henry VII. They were defeated. And they were taken to the Tower, and summary English justice, they were hung down and quartered. And the Lord Mayor of Cork died in that fight. So the title of Rebel County is not a superficial one. It is stamped with sacrifice, and literally could be written in the blood of our ancestors. So Seb and friends, welcome of this increasing tapestry. It's easy for me to welcome Seb. Lots of things have been said about him, I don't want to embarrass him. And Charlie and Sarah are rightly proud of him, and we're very happy for him to come into our family. Sean has said it. And I remember the first time we met him. Cait announced, she's invited my boyfriend from London up for the weekend. You try to be enthusiastic when you hear these kind of things. So I said to her, so what's it called? She says, Sebastian. Another great Scottish, to be honest. But, you know, you can hope for a Seamus or whatever, but so right, when we were into the weekend, Vivian and I turned to each other and said, we actually like him. And the rest, in some ways, is history. They make a really good couple. You're aware of that. They support each other, and you need to be a good couple nowadays. You need to be a good couple because, as Shakespeare says, the slings and arrows of our greatest fortune can test you out, and they've had. And Seb has alluded to them, and I'm going to briefly just mention one or two actually. The first one was when Cait was hit down with that plot, and then that was a serious time. She was taken to hospital. She had to leave their flat in London, but thankfully she went through it, and she was well enough to go home. Unfortunately, Seb rang and said she'd been delayed because she needs injections every day until the plot medication takes effect. So Vivian, being a brilliant doctor and brilliant at inflicting pain, injecting. So Vivian went down, next train down to London, and allowed Cait home at their flat. And the next day, Vivian rang me up and said, I can come back. I said, oh, that's great. She said, yeah, Seb was just literally came to the plate, rolled his sleeves up, I presume washed his hands, and he was able to give the injections. He's completely confident. And so Viv came back, and we obviously learned a lesson that this is a serious relationship when it comes to Cait, Seb can dig deep. So well done. But there is another possible explanation, and that is he was so desperate to get rid of Vivian that he was Shortly after that, there was again, Seb, I think, made a reference to this, the upstairs flat developed a leak in a pipe, and it was a sewer pipe, unfortunately, so it contaminated their flat. Now, that mightn't seem much to the Cork people because they're used to the River Dee, but the English people who pleasant land. This was a challenge. This was a challenge, but again, you overcome it, and we could only admire that. And you know, it's a testament to the couple that you are. And it was not a surprise when you announced that you wanted to formalise it, cement it in a wedding in this event. And well done to you. Well done to you for creating this fantastic event. Well done to you for the detail, the work, the time you put in to make this a full-blooded, unique, inclusive, happy event. And that is a tribute to you and not to be underestimated. Cannot be underestimated, and we got to just be honest about this. And whenever we dress this up, Seb is an Englishman. and you're going to feel this, but there's a gush of sympathy coming from the Cork tables. And I said that. And I'm going to continue on now, because my oldest daughter me, and I walked down the aisle less than a year ago to another Englishman. And things are looking too good for my English daughter, national either. I wanted to say something about the ceremony today. I won't say much. I don't like talking about my younger brother that much. He's usually boring and annoying. But thank you, Mark, for putting the effort in here. You took this very seriously and you elevated it, and I just appreciate it. I think everybody does, so thank you. You kind of hear different things in Ireland that you need to keep getting together, but you see or feel your daughter reaching a milestone, moving on, and you have to kind of, I suppose, reflect on that, and it makes you think about what your precious little daughter means to you. And that is very hard to put into words, and Sean has had to go off it, and Maeve and Ashley. It is very hard for me to add to that. But I will, on behalf of myself and Vivian, I think I will add one word. I will keep it very simple. Joy. Call it about joy daily to us, despite the ups and downs. I don't think it's just plain and simple. I don't think there's anything else. We're so pleased with what you've achieved and what you have. We're grateful to be what it may call it a roller coaster ride, the ups and downs. We were grateful, we're delighted at what you've achieved. And then not referring to physical beauty, that's kind of irrelevant anyway, or the writing. The writing or the music or the poetry is obviously to be lauded, but it's just what you bring to the family. You just bring a happiness in, you bring depth, you bring richness. We appreciate that, and with your creativity, you can create special moments like Dark Lord, a poem you wrote visiting my father who was fighting with dementia. You create special moments, and you can deal with difficult subjects with sensitivity and with humour, and well done for that. So we're going to go on my daughter, I will share with you something that she probably shared with you, when she had a few Guinnesses or Tens, and she'll tell you how tough she had it. And some of it is true, and it's already been mentioned that she is the fourth child. And any of you who are four children will know that you're largely ignored when you go to school. and that, of course, is the way it was. This is interesting, actually, that when sometimes we're clearing out an old drawer or something, Vivian will find a bit of Maeve, a bit of her hair, and so Maeve, her oldest daughter, a tooth, and actually even found a nail, I think. But there's no such DNA evidence of Coyle. If she was missing, I'm afraid we'd have to do it now for her. She might be sitting in the back or something. So that was it. The other thing she's had to put up with, and this is just a fact, is that 98% of the British people can't pronounce her name. And you would think a country that has, taken over the world, has dominated, could manage four simple C and an A for the I and a sharp T, but no, and I can only, I suppose, apologise apologise for that, really. When Vivian and I were after birth, we were gazing at each other and marvelling at the wonder of human birth. We didn't consider the linguistic capabilities of Sacred Heart or indeed British Broadcasting Association or whatever. So I'm sorry for that, but you managed to do okay, I think, despite us. I'm going to finish by wishing you well. Wishing you both well. That's obviously easy for me to do. I'm going to sort of paraphrase Oscar Wilde, a hero of mine, and he said, if you've got poetry and flowers and the moon, you're destined for happiness. And you've got plenty of the first two. I think poetry and flowers can't promise you the moon, but you've got something more than that. You have relationships, and you quite aces relationships. Your family, you've heard, friends, wider family, you ace relationships, you value them, you nurture them, and they are the scaffolding we're referring to in Seamus Heaney's poem. They are the things that support you and will continue to support you in life through good and bad and whatever. So please just stay seated, but we'll just raise a final glass to call and say, wishing them lifelong happiness. You'll be glad to hear. That's it, Sinead. So, how are you? So, I hope you have a great evening.